بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Peace be upon you. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody. Nice to meet you again. We are so pleased to receive you here in our Arab English Teachers Association. And my greetings, I am Shawqia Hawawre from Palestine. I welcome you all and hope that you will get benefit from this new session, which is very important. It will talk about a very important skill, which is listening. Here, now we will receive and welcome our guest speaker from Palestine, Miss Wala'i. She is an English teacher from Palestine, and she is fascinated by her specialization, and she will give you from her experience what she knows about this important and vital skill. Now, let's start with Miss Wala. She will introduce herself and then she will start her presentation. Hope you the best and welcome another time. Yes, please start.
Thank you, Ms. Shawqia.
The floor
Thank
is
you
yours
very much.
now. Yes.
Okay, so I will start. Good afternoon, good morning, assalamu alaikum in all languages. So it's my honor today to be with you, inshallah, for this session today. And my presentation will be about the art of teaching listening. I'm pleased to be with you with the Arab Association for English Teachers Association. Let me briefly introduce myself. I am Wala'i from Palestine. I have BA from the Arab American with excellent status and MA from An-Najah National University. I have taught at the Arab American University for 7 years, and I was a teacher for Access 14 with the MEDs. I have given different trainings for different people in the Arab American University and different places in the continuing education center at the Arab American University also. I have gained 7 international certificates as the professional development for teacher trainers with the TESOL, developing an online program on Canvas. So I have a course on Canvas where I teach online. It is mainly about communication and speaking. I have also taken the Teaching for Success with the British Council and other courses with the EA American English, with Coursera, and many more. I have participated in different conferences in Palestine and in Turkey. I've participated at AAUP at the university about creativity in teaching during COVID-19, which was held in 2022. Another one that was held in Turkey in August 2022 also. I have the initiative of English Skills Practice, where I teach elementary level students and they have to record themselves speaking English fluently. I recently got a Microsoft Expert MIE for the class of 2022-2023. This is briefly about me. Now let's start talking about what I will give you in this lecture.
Welcome, Miss Wala. Welcome, Miss Wala, and great achievements. I ask Allah to protect you, inshallah. Welcome and thanks another time for accepting our invitation, and always hope you the best.
Inshallah, thank you very much. Okay, so as for our agenda for today, I will give you a warm-up activity. Then we will talk about some of the listening challenges. We will differentiate between listening and listening comprehension, mainly for our students, and why it is important. Then we will move to teaching listening. We will compare between old and current listening formats, why the current one is very important. We will talk about the listening process and how we can apply this in developing a lesson plan. Then we will talk about listening for a specific goal, about different activities we can use in teaching listening. After that, we will develop a lesson plan together for for a lesson for listening, especially for elementary level. After that, I will briefly tell you about two main technologies and can use for making interactive listening tests. So this is what I will talk about in this lecture, inshallah. So the first is a warm-up activity. It's not listening. It's somehow reading to check your understanding. Most of my resources are from the website of EA American English. So the resource I will give you and the activities I will give you are from this website, americanenglish.state.government. Now we will start with the warm-up activity we have. We'll give you a link. In this link, you have 5 sentences. In each sentence, you have a word that doesn't belong to this sentence. The word that belongs to the sentence is in another sentence. What you have to do is to change this word that doesn't belong. I have it in bold with a different word from another quote or from another sentence. After that, you will have 5 sayings on listening to think about and discuss. Let me give you the link. I have it here. Yeah. This is the link I have. And I will post it in the chat. So here I will paste the link here. Okay. So you can check. You have the link here on the chat. You can look there. I have posted it twice. What you have to do is to go to that link and try to do the activity. After that, I want your screenshots for the activity. So here you have the link. I will start it. It's with, I have made it easier for you. I have the words here, and the word you have to change. Change the word to word from here. So is it clear what we have to do? We have to change a word from this sentence with a word from here. Is there anyone who has answered? Is there any answer?
Yeah, I'm doing right now, teacher. Sister, sorry.
Great, great. Okay, I'm done.
I'm done for the first link.
Oh, it's the same for both. Can we have your screenshot for the score? No answer yet. Done. Okay. Great. So we have Iman. Thank you very much. You got 1% correct answer. Thank you. So we have one person. Good. We have another person. We have Miss Awatif. Great. Thank you. Great. Okay. So I will ask the first person, Iman. Can you please read the first sentence and to give us
Okay.
the correct answer? Okay. Go ahead.
I'm here. I'm gonna read it.
Okay, go ahead.
We talked for 4 people. Well, I talked for 4, and she listened for 2. Change people to hours.
Okay, thank you. So we talked for 4 hours. Great, thank you.
You're more
Excellent
than
answer. The second. Okay, thank you. The second one, we have Awatif. Can you answer? The second person. Miss Awatif, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Would you like to answer?
Second
Okay,
one.
yes, the second one.
Okay, the word listen contains the same letters as the word intent. Change intent to listen.
Okay, so we have to change to another word, silent, intent, ears, and people. Listen has the same word.
To silent, silent.
Yes, listen, sorry, I have it to intent. Yes, silent. Thank you. So we have the word listen has the same letters as the word intent. Thank you. Silent as intent. Okay, the next one. We have Mr. Amir or Amir. I don't know. Amir or Amir. Can you answer?
أمير
Amir
أمير
or
مستر أمير لا مستر
Amir.
أمير.
Okay, can you answer, Mr. Amir? Okay, Mr. Amir, can you answer? Okay, are you with us?
Maybe
Then
he
we
has
have-
a problem with his mic.
Hello,
Okay.
Mrs. Wala.
Hello, Miss Fatma.
What's
Hello.
up?
تفضلي.
Can I answer the question?
Number 3.
Yes, go ahead. Sure.
We have 2
we
hours
have-
and 1 tongue so that we would listen more and talk less. Change hours to ears. We have 2 ears and 1 tongue.
Thank you. Great answer. So thank you. We have 2 ears and 1 tongue. Thank you. Great answer. Okay, the fourth one.
Yes.
We
Yes.
have Miss
Number
Samani.
4.
Okay. Number 4. Would you please do it?
Yes,
Most
number
of the
4.
successful silent.
Yes.
Wait a minute to check in
Go ahead.
the sign. Number 4. Wait a moment, please. At first, hi to all.
Okay.
Number 4, most of the successful silent I've known are the ones who do more listening than talking. Change silence to people.
Salam
Thank you. Most of the successful
Yes.
people. Thank you. And the last one.
That's right.
I have Mr. Walid. Are you with us, Mr. Walid?
Hello?
Are you with us? Okay. Hello.
Hello, number 5.
Hello. Number 5. Okay, go ahead.
Most people don't. May I
Go
answer?
ahead. Yes.
Most people don't
Yes, yes, you can.
listen
Go
with the ears to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Change ears to intent.
Thank you. Yes. So most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Okay. So we have these quotes about listening. Can you briefly give your opinion in these statements or in these quotes? What we are talking about? What's the importance of the topic we are talking about? You can raise your hands. Yes, it's in English. The lecture is in English. Okay. Can you give your opinion, Ms. Shawqia? Can you know who raises his hand or her hand and allow them to speak?
Yes, yes. Please, anyone who wants to speak, raise the hand.
Talk about the topic, what we are talking about, importance of it.
Anybody wants to talk?
Is
Please
there any answer?
keep yourself
Can I ask
muted.
you what is to answer? What are we talking about?
Yes, Miss Awatif is
We are
raising
talking
her
about
hand.
Yes, may I answer?
Okay.
Yes, go
Okay,
ahead,
thank you.
please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I think the topic is talking about listening, how to reduce the teacher time, talking time, and to increase the students' talking time.
Great answer. Yes.
Did you hear me?
Yes. Thank you, Miss
Yeah,
Awatif.
Yeah,
Let's move
about
to Miss
managing
Lamia.
talking time for the teacher. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Yes, Miss Lamia.
Excellent.
Miss
Great
Lamia,
answer.
go ahead. Miss Lamia, unmute yourself, please. Yes, Miss Lamia. Yes, go ahead. Please, your voice is not so clear. Can you fix it?
I think it's on the internet. I'm sorry. Is it okay now?
Yes, it is better now. Please.
Which one you want me to answer?
Yes, Miss Wala asks you, what is this activity talk about? What do you understand from this activity? Is it related to listening, for example? What is its importance?
Okay, let's move on. Okay, it seems that we do not have much answers. So I will focus on what Miss Awatif has said. She said that we
Mr.
have to
Khalid,
reduce
yes,
speaking
please,
time.
Miss Wala,
Yes.
Mr. Khalid is raising his hand. Please, Mr. Khalid, go ahead. The floor is yours now.
Thank you very much thank you again very much for the opportunity, and thank you for the presentation, which start with the task. And I think the most important thing about this activity is for breaking ice activity, a breaking ice activity, and as well as it helps students to be focused on contextualization, knowing the meaning of words, because we cannot listen carefully, attentively, unless we know what is said exactly.
Okay, great answer. Thank you, Mr. Khalid. Okay, so what you have said is correct. We have to focus. It makes students focus. It attracts their attention. And as Ms. Hawawre said, we will focus on reducing the speaking time and increasing speaking time for students mainly, and increasing the listening time for them. So thank you very much for your answers, Mr. Khalid and Ms. Hawawre. And we will move on now. I want you to write in the chat, why do teachers and students find listening a problem? What challenges that face students and teachers when they come to task? We find many teachers skip the listening task. Why? Why is that very hard for teachers mainly and for students? Why don't the students like English listening tasks? So can you help us with some answers? I want your answers in the chat. Quickly, you can write only one word or two. Why do teachers and students find listening a problem? What challenges do they face? You have one. The problem of pronunciation and accent. Excellent one. Yes, it's a big problem for both teachers and students. Mr. Hassan, start this. Okay. The sound is not so clear. Okay, yes, the sound is not so clear. Thank you. So this is a problem in the listening task. We will talk about it also. Difficult
Mrs.
word.
Wala,
Sound.
may I say something?
Okay, go ahead. Yes, you can.
I think that students are not familiar with native speakers language, so they may find it as difficulty to understand what is talked in the tape recorder sometimes, because their tongue is different.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So this is a big problem where students and teachers sometimes don't understand the native speaker's language. So it's different from their tongue. Thank you very much. Okay, I think Miss Rubaya. Miss Rubaya.
Yes,
Okay, good.
This is me. I miss you, Mrs. Wala.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Please be with us today. Okay.
I hope
so
that
we have this
I
point.
will be always with you, inshallah.
Okay, thank you. Inshallah. Thank you. So we have other things. This is due to the pupil's limited experience listening to comprehensible oral English. Yes. Language. So new words and the speed of the speaker. Excellent answers. Listening is receptive skill. Yes. So it's a receptive skill, but it needs us to fill in gaps to presume to understand the other person fully. But when we are beginning idea about transcription, yes, أنا مشيت هيك كثير شغلات. Okay, so please to have all of your answers. So what you have mentioned are the things I have here. I have summarized them here. You said that you have limited vocab, so I have it here. Lack of contextual knowledge, speed of delivery, especially when we have native speakers, they speak fluently and in a high speed. So speed of delivery. Another problem is that the listening task is not repeated. Students listen for only one time, so they do not follow up. Quickly forgetting what is heard because they listen for only one time, not recognizing the words they know. So as some of you said, it's about the accent, about the words they have. They know the word, but when they hear it, they don't understand it. For example, going to, it's mentioned gonna, so they don't know it. not being able to have words repeated because it's once, understanding the message but not the intended message. So they can understand the text, but they do not understand the message. This is what we are talking about, which is listening comprehension. Failing to follow signals like transitions. Sometimes they listen, but they do not know some transitions, although, on the other hand, etc. Neglecting the next part while thinking about the meaning. Many students think, okay, they one part without following up the second one because they are thinking about words. They want to understand every single word they hear. Every single word they have. So these are some of the listening challenges we have, as well as the ones you have mentioned. Great, thank you. Now, what are listening versus listening comprehension? What we teach at the schools is listening. What's the difference between listening and listening comprehension? In your opinion, what's the difference between listening only and listening comprehension? How they are different? I think if listening requires, yes, it needs concentration. Thank you. In your opinion, what's the difference between listening only and listening comprehension? What do we want to reach when we teach our students how to listen?
Can I tell you the difference, maybe? I think
You can. Thank you. Go ahead.
I think listening to listen to some sentences and to try to repeat them out without understanding them. But listening comprehension, you have to answer some questions after listening to a text.
So you need to understand fully the content,
yes,
and the message. Yes.
Yes, it's the same as يستمع وينصت in Arabic.
Thank you. It's the same as يستمع وينصت, as we have, for example, hear and listen.
Yeah.
We have some difference between them. The same we have between listen and listening comprehension. Thank you. Great answers, Ms. Ruba. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Other answers? Are there other answers? Okay. So listening for the is
Karam.
This is me, Mrs. Ruba.
Yes.
This is me, Mrs. Ruba.
Yes.
This is my son.
Yes.
We
Mr.
have
Khaled.
Mr. Hassan.
Yeah, yes, there is a difference as our colleague said before. The listening comprehension needs the focus of the intended, for example, intended message. What for example, comprehension, exactly the message needed to be, for example, the purpose of listening, the intended message from the listening, to comprehend and understand what is exactly intended.
Great, thank you. So we want to reach at the intended meaning. What is the intended message from the passage? We have Mr. Hassan also said we focus on listening only, whereas we talk about listening comprehension. We give an importance to understand the meaning. Yes.
Yes,
so
great. Miss Iman is raising her hand.
Okay, she can speak up.
Yes, Miss Iman, please go ahead. Miss
Yeah,
Iman Jamal.
I think that the differences between the listening and the comprehension is that listening is very good or maybe suitable for the audible students who likes to listen, and they get benefits from listening more than any. But comprehension is written in front of them, and they can repeat it as many times as they want to check or to make sure that they understand, and they may be familiar with comprehension or the passage to see and read more than listening only by itself. And because I was about to say something, I forget, sorry.
Okay.
And because they are knowing the aim of the comprehension, but not knowing, maybe the teacher missed to say why they are listening. So if we give them a pre-question to think about during the listening, it's gonna be useful, and the comprehension is gonna be useful for the visual or the students who likes to look or see while they are listening. That's
Thank you. Great answer. Great. Thank you very much for your answer.
Yes,
great. Thank you.
another
anyone who would like to
participant
answer?
is yes, another participant whose name is Anwar. Now it is your turn. Please go ahead, Miss Anwar.
Okay, I want to say hello for all of you. Good evening.
Welcome. Good evening.
Yeah, I want to say that listening comprehension need more higher level of thinking than listening. The students needs to find information and to get more from what they are listening to, not just listen for English. That's it.
Thank you. Great answer also. Yes. So, yes, this is the gist. Listening comprehension, we need more higher level of thinking. While in listening, we will talk about it. It's the bottom we have. While in listening comprehension, we will talk about top bottom activities. We need more of higher level thinking for students, their understanding of the intended message or the meaning of words they are listening to. While in listening only, we have only the listening, they have the message, they have the context, we have the memory in its short term. But in comprehension, no, we need to check their understanding for high levels. Thank you very much for your answers. You are great today. Okay. Now, why is this listening for learners? I want to check why is it important in two sides. I want to talk about in real life why need listening, and in classrooms for teachers, why do I need listening in the classroom? So in learners and in classrooms for teachers, why is listening important? Can you help us?
Yes, can I answer the question?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
I think listening is the opposite side. I think listening is the opposite side of speaking. If they master the listening skill, so they will surely they will master speaking in real life situations. So they need first to have the input, which is listening, in order to have the output, which is speaking.
Excellent. This is the main thing we need. Yes, this is the main point we are talking about. Is there any answer?
Yes, Miss Anwar, another time.
Yes, I think that listening in classrooms make teaching more enjoyable, because we can communicate easily with students. It will be easier for us to communicate, even in life or in classrooms. We need it.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So we want to check our students' understanding. We want to make listening, teaching enjoyable. Thank you very much. Great answer also, Anwar.
Miss Fatima Hassan.
Yes.
Now, yes.
Yes, I think listening skill improves our students' pronunciation, accent, how to utter words in a correct way, and this improves their fluency in English. Help with their fluency in English.
Yes, so this
Thank you.
You want to be fluent in English, so they listen. Thank you. We also have Mr. Hassan, who said that no way to communicate and convey our ideas, and the interaction is based on listening first. Excellent. So I will comment on what you have said. First thing, Ms. Ruba said that listening is very important for speaking. This is the main part. That's why we listen. When you want to communicate or when you want to speak a language, you really need to know what is spoken and to listen to the language. So to engage in a conversation, you have to understand the other person, what he or she is talking about, what he or she is speaking. So the good conversation has to be understood, and to be understood, you have to listen first to that language in order to be able to be engaged in that conversation. So it's very important for the listening part is very important for speaking. It's the main part for speaking. So this is the first thing we have. The other thing we have in our, we notice many people wearing their earphones or their headphones. So they listen a lot to different things. Of the information, or much of the information, much of the information we have today is presented through many listening channels. We hear different people, or we notice different people having their earphones. We can watch people walk by, they are listening to with their earphones. It's all about listening. So much of the information is now available in English, so we have to listen to more English. So it's important that we are able to understand and comprehend English mainly. As for classrooms, as Ms. Anwar and Mr. Hassan said, listening is very vital because it provides input. It's a receptive skill. So, it's a productive skill. So we want our students to understand and to apply the language to produce it. The second thing is the spoken language is a way of interaction for learners. That's why we have to make them speak a lot. We have to make them listen in order to speak. The authentic spoken language is a challenge for learners. So they have to listen first before they start speaking. And listening exercises provide teachers drawing learners' attention to new forms like vocabs, grammar, interaction patterns in the language. So this is why listening is important in real life and in the classroom. Now, I will move to teaching listening. I will briefly talk about some things, then I will move to developing a lesson plan. Now, I remember learning at the school that most of our activities are not in the course of listening. So most of the listening lessons we had in the past were not actually listening. What do we mean by that? I will help you. So this is a discussion for you. I remember when I was at the school, the teacher, or that was the norm in our book, that we have the vocabs, we learn the vocabs, then we have the listening task where our teacher had used to ask general questions, or then move to some specific questions. After that, after we are done, or after we were done with the listening task, we had to talk or to speak. So that was the listening task, or these were the listening tasks we had in the past. What do you mean? Most of the listening lessons are not listening. How can we teach lessons related to listening? Nowadays, how do we teach listening lessons? How do you apply the listening lesson? What's the first thing you teach? In the past, we had the first thing, the vocabs, then some questions about the listening, then we had to write. That was the listening. Now, how can you teach listening nowadays? How do you teach listening nowadays? What activities do you apply?
Okay. Can I answer the question?
Can, Miss Ruba.
For fourth grade, there are a lot of special listening activities. They are specific for listening. For example, the students are presenting the new language. Are presented the new language of the lesson or of the unit. Then they are asked about the characters in the unit. They have a lot of activities, but for grade 8 and 9, there are special lesson, which is unit 10, period 10 in each unit. We have, for example, I think it's a very tough material. It's a very boring material for them, in my opinion, because they are asked about something that is not in real life situations. They are always asked about, for example, Palestinian cities, how high are they from the sea level, for example, or something like that. In grade 8 and 9, they don't focus a lot on listening activities. I think they have to focus more on that, speaking and listening. They focus much on grammar. They have a lot of grammar.
Yes.
So in grade 8
Hello.
and 9, they have a
Focus
special
mainly on
lesson for
reading and
that.
grammar. Yes.
A special lesson, poems or something
Yes.
like that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Luba.
Yes.
Great answer. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello.
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 Go ahead,
Hello.
please.
Okay.
Hello.
For now listening, as the teacher said, the most important thing in listening is to make it more authentic, authentication of the listening itself. And for this reason, we have to divide the listening into three stages, as you mentioned. In the re-listening, for example, stage, you are preparing the student to listen. So you should already be familiar with the listening task before class. And then take a listen to the listening track and bound at these questions. Ask them. For this stage, I start with discussion questions, true or false statement, vocabulary work, prediction task, and brainstorming the topic.
Yes. Thank you very much. This is what I'm talking about. So how has changed? This is what Mr. Al-Hassan, I think, I don't remember who's talking. Okay, has mentioned. So he said that in the briefing, we have to establish the context and to create motivation for listening. Most of our books nowadays, before we start listening, we have some examples, we have the context, then we have the critical vocabs only. We do not teach every single word. We have the most important words. In the listening task itself, we have general question on the context. Then we have some specific questions. I will show a sample. So they have to listen, for example, to repeat. They have to listen to have true or false questions. They have to listen to answer a WH question. So I will give you a sample here. I have here a listening book. It's from Unlock 2, I think. Yes, it's Unlock 2 plus listening and speaking 1. It's from Cambridge. This is a book for Cambridge. We have a listening task. It's for a class. So the first thing we do is that we have some pictures as our Palestinian book. So we have pictures to stimulate students speaking, to engage them, to motivate them. We have preparing to watch or to listen, activate knowledge about the context, and to predict content using visuals. So first, we predict the content, we activate students' knowledge, and we have the critical words only. We see here that we have only 5 words, not the whole words. We do not have, for example, 10 words, 15 words. No, we only have the critical words, the most important ones. Then we start listening. The first thing we have while listening, we have an activity, only one activity, where we have to take for true statements. So listening for a specific purpose, we have to listen in order to understand the main idea. We have only one question. After that, we can listen once again to circle the correct question or the correct answer. So we have to understand the details. Here, we have to listen to understand the main idea. Here, we have to listen to understand details. We do not give them in only one question. Listen to answer these questions. No, we can make listening part by part. We can make students this more than once, for twice, for 3 times in order to answer the questions. And after we are done, we can have discussion related to the listening task. We can make inference. We can ask why. We do not ask them mainly to write because we move to another step. Students engaged. We have to ask them some questions related to the listening task. The same thing we have in our Palestinian book. When we look at one of them, I don't open it. Okay, we have, for example, listen and say. They have only to listen in order to say. Listen and repeat. Listen and tick true or false. Listen and repeat the paragraph, not only the word but the paragraph. Listen and so when we teach listening, it has to be for specific goals. We have only one question that students have to answer. Okay, let's move on. Now, as for the listening process, how do you teach listening? We have 2 processes for listening, and we can apply both of them. Which one do you apply in your listening task? Do you apply, I will help you. Do you apply the top, the down, top process? Which one can you apply in your listening task? And what's the difference between them? We have the top down and the bottom up. Sorry, bottom up process. Which one is more important? Which one do you apply? Apply both of them in the listening task? Okay, you can write your answers in the chat. Yes, we have also brainstorming. Some people saying why and post, yes. We have listening for gist, for details, for answers you have. Both. So a person said that we apply both of them in the listening task. Okay. Which one do you apply first? If you apply both of them, which one is more important? Which one is for the higher level students? Which one is for the weak students? Okay. Is there any other answer? We apply both. Okay. Okay, I will help you. When we talk about the bottom, is there any answer? Okay, go ahead. Okay. In the bottom up process, learners hear the word, keep them in the short-term memory to combine them with each other and interpret they have heard before. So it's used with less skilled students. We use the bottom, the less skilled students, because they only listen to certain words and they have to connect them to other certain words. So you have to word meaning, discourse markers, etc. As for the top-down one, which is very important for the advanced students, for advanced listening skills, it's successful with the students who are of the high level of listening task. So it contains certain things about certain topics and situations. We have to understand the information in order to apply them. So we use our prior knowledge and experience. We know certain things from the information we understand. Okay, so learners use their background knowledge in order to comprehend the meaning by considering the previous knowledge. As I said, we use both of them in our teaching. We will apply this now when we are talking about, yes, so we use both of them according to the context, level of students, the material, etc. Thank you, Ms. Anwar. Yes, so both are important. Yes, what you have mentioned isn't correct. Students' capability and the context. Yes, so that depends on the student's level. We have high-level students. We have less skilled students. So in order to make our listening task appropriate for both of them, we have to apply both skills or these both processes. We will apply them now. Listening for specific goals, we have already talked about it. For our lesson plan, I think that we all know Old MacDonald had a farm. We all know this. Old MacDonald had a farm, and I believe that talking about animals is presented in most of our books, grade till higher grades. So if you have this song, especially for elementary level, or if you have a reading text about animals, how can you make a lesson plan for Old MacDonald had a farm? I want you to help me with some with while listening tasks and with post listening tasks. This is start
The
with
pre-listening activity.
Listening task for all McDonald's had a farm. Yes.
Do you ask about the
Yes,
pre-listening activity first? We have to
Yes.
bring some pictures to the classroom and ask students, what is the name of this animal? What does this animal have as food? For example, maybe in order to enrich or to make sure that they know the vocabulary of animals first.
Good, excellent. So this
And sounds of some animals.
we can bring some
Sounds.
pictures.
Can you imitate? Can you
Yes.
imitate the animal sounds, for example, maybe? Or I may ask them to have their a tool for animal sounds, a special tool in kids' games.
Excellent. Good, thank you. So you can bring some games to the class and get the sound also. Great thing. Thank you very much, Ms. Ruba. Great answer.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, is there anything? Okay, so what you have mentioned, is it a top down or bottom up? Here you are connecting the animals to their previous knowledge. So
yes, it's, I think it's the second one.
Hard. Yes.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you
a little bit more advanced. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So it's for advanced students because they are connecting the information they have with the things they have in the class. They do not only use vocabs. Excellent. Thank you very much. So the first thing when you want to develop a lesson plan, okay, I will not talk more about it. To help our students know the names of the animals as well as their sounds. And it's for elementary level. It's about 40 minutes only for. So for pre-listening activities, we have to activate the students up to get them into it. What Ms. Ruba has % correct. So in the pre-listening activities, she said that we can use a poster, we can have some pictures, we can toys to our class. So we have to pay attention to the animals, their sounds, their names, and as she said, activity, because students are instructed to get the animals they have, their names, their sounds. It's very difficult for them because they have to relate that to their environment. So it's a top-down activity. Okay. So we have talked about the pre-listening activity we can have. Okay, what about the listening activity? In listening, can you give me one task we can help our students with when they listen?
Yes.
Okay, for the while
yes,
listening
can you repeat the question another time, please?
Yes, we have talked about the pre-listening activity where Ms. Ruba has helped us about giving etc. Or toys for animals. The second activity we have is pre-listening 1. what activities can you help your students with? For Old MacDonald had a farm. Miss Awatif said we have to take the right answer. Great. So you have,
or maybe
and the one they have to
complete
Yeah?
sentences, for example, complete sentences.
Yes, they have to complete the sentences. Great answer. So we have two answers here. To take the right answer to complete. Okay, another thing.
Match.
Maybe
One
we
Students
listening
can match
activity.
Match,
match
miss.
the animal with its sound
yes, I
They
agree.
have to match
Sorry, listen and
the
or
animal
picture
with its
or
name,
with
the
animal
animal with its
with
sound.
sound.
Great.
Yes.
Yes. Or
Maybe
the animal with
they
its sound.
can draw. Miss Wala, maybe a drawing also. Maybe while listening they can draw
Okay.
something. For example, the name or the picture of the cat, the picture of the rabbit, maybe.
Okay. So drawing is one
Yeah.
of the most important
maybe
tasks.
maybe
So it's
sorry.
okay. Number is
Maybe
there.
they
Great.
put
You
the
can make
pictures
them
in
number.
order.
Yes.
Put the pictures in order.
So put the
They
pictures
listen
in
and
order.
put the pictures in order.
Great. Yes. Put the pictures in order.
Maybe
Activities you have. Wow.
classifying. Maybe classifying, for
Yes.
example, to classify animals into domestic ones and wild ones. While
Yes.
listening.
Thank you. Yes, we have this. Yes, so classifying animals into domestic and wild animals. Great. Okay. Other answers or that's enough, I think, because you have lots of activities. Great answers. Great. Please to have and your engagement with me. Okay. Okay, go ahead. I have a person speaking.
Yeah.
Here and fill in the blanks. The
Maybe
words
I
they listen
specify the
to. Good.
pictures.
Match. Yes. I can.
We get them.
Okay. Yes. Great. Thank you. So I will briefly talk about it. All of the activities you have mentioned are great. Thank you very much. So you are great teachers. You have great ideas to apply with your. Simply, I have this sample. It's from the British Council for Kids. Learn English Kids. It's related for the British Council, and this activity is from the British Council website. You can match. I have only this activity. We have other activities that you have mentioned, but you can ask to match, as you said, to fill in the blanks, to number, to put the words in order or the pictures in order, to match the word with its or the name of the animal with its sound. So you have different things. You can apply also for prepositions where the animal is. So the main goal of the listening activity is to focus on knowing the names after seeing them in the song. So we have the song. They will watch it or they will hear it if they do not have the video, and we have to know the meanings. This is the goal. We have to apply or to check their understanding of the video. So they will work on handouts, they will work on questions, they listen for only one question to answer. After that, we can move to another one. Okay, what about the post-listening activity? What's about the post-listening activity? We can have.
We can use
not writing.
we can use applications on the internet. We can use quizzes for making a quiz
So
about.
we can use quizzes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe I have this
Good.
idea.
So
now.
we can have a quiz. Yes, I like
Okay.
it. We have Ms. Hawawre said that we can enact a role play. Great one. So students can act. Good. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Or can
Another
we
one.
talk about their favorite animal to write about it?
Yes. Great. So here we have they have listened to, they can speak. We apply both listening and speaking. Great. So they can speak about their favorite animal they have in the video. So change animals in the song.
Well,
Yes.
I think
Also,
singing the song.
Maybe
I
also
think
asking them about the colors of the animals. If I want to teach them the names of
Yeah,
the colors, for example.
yeah, about the colors. Thank you.
I think Mrs. Wala, production stage is maybe can be singing the song simply. It will be very enjoyable for them.
So
Just singing the song together.
excellent one. Yes, I have it. Yes, I want them to
Yes.
sing along and practice
Yes, Mr.
and the
Al-Hassan
sound. So this is the
writes,
productive one.
Or can
Mr.
be
Al-Hassan,
exercise. Make
Mr.
exercise.
Al-Hassan, Mr. Al-Hassan says these activities should be related to the aim that we define to the lesson. Miss Awatif says enact a role play, change animals maybe into a song, because as you know, students or especially children like singing, so we can change it into a song. Yes.
Yes.
Also, Mr. Hassan says the types of the question should respect the level. He means it should suit their level. For example, if they are kids, if they are in the elementary, etc.
Yes,
Okay,
and we
thank
have
you.
high skilled students and less skilled students. We have to make for these students and for this group of students. So our activities should have these levels of students. Now, as I said, the productive skill is to sing the song. So here it's for both the skilled and less skilled students, where students have to sing together alone. And this is important for both high and low students, because some students who are shy can pretend that they are singing with the class without embarrassment. So this is the productive skill. We can encourage students to sing together, or they can volunteer to sing individually. So they can talk about their favorite animal. Good, excellent answers. Okay. In fact, I'm really pleased to have your engagement in the webinar today. Okay, so let's continue. You have talked about the pre-listening, the while listening, and the post-listening activity. We still have two simple things. You have said when we are or when we were talking about the webinar, some of the listening activities we can have as warm-up activities, or some of them we can make, or we can encourage our students to do. For example, we ask them to draw. So drawing is very important. For example, when you have direction, when you have the animal, I can only describe it, and the student has to write. The student has for the animal. We can have Simon Says. It's very enjoyable for kids. Okay, can you mention some other activities you help your students practice listening? Some other activities. I have them here, but you can think of some activities also. Okay. Can you mention some activities? Okay, I will help you. Uh, we can have this for high-level students, sound clip dictation, where students write while they listen. This is an activity we do mainly with access students, where they have to listen to TOEFL test, and then they have to write it. Okay, it's very beneficial for them. They can fill in the gap. They can play yes or no. For example, say yes or stand if you have two brothers, if you have two sisters, if you like, for example, cheese, etc. And we can give them direction. Sometimes the information is not only the YouTube, the audios we have. We have different websites. We have VOE, Special English. We have we have BBC. We have other websites. Sometimes the teacher himself or herself can be the resource of the listening. So these are some of the activities we can apply with our students. The last thing I will talk about is how to make your listening enjoyable with your students or interactive. I will not explain this in more details because it needs each program needs a lecture. Okay, so I will help you with two main programs you can use with your students. The listening task enjoyable and to help your students focus when they listen. In these two apps, we have Stream. You can use it using Microsoft Teams, and we have Edpuzzle. The main thing in these two websites or these two apps is that you can make your students listen, and once in a while they have a question to answer, and they have to skip or complete the video until they answer the question. I will help you with this one. I have this Old MacDonald had a farm. I have used Stream. It's on Teams. You can use it using Teams. Okay. Microsoft, you can have it here. It's in the apps, and I have it here because I use it. Okay. So what you have is that you can have students listen, and once in a while they have a question. The first thing you have to do is to have it on Microsoft form and to have the link here. So after they
E-I-E-I-O, and on this farm we had some cats. E-I-E-I-O, you're a meow meow, you're a meow meow this, you're a meow.
See here, it stops, and you will have the question.
Everywhere a meow meow, Old MacDonald had a farm.
I'm the one who's using it. I don't have it because I'm the one who's using it. I will use the other one. Okay. Till it opens. Okay, you can use it. I will send you the link also where you can listen to the audio or to the video. You can watch it and you can have the question. For example, here. Okay. The good thing in this website is that you can cut, you can modify, you can cover your video.
E-I-E-I-O, and on this farm we had some dogs.
Okay, here I will make it also. Okay, أنا كنت حاططه بس إنه لأنه okay, so you have here a question. I have it quickly. So what's the unmentioned animal? And you have to answer it. You cannot move on the video until you answer it. So I will answer it here. Submit. I can have the answer. Now you can continue. After you have answered the question, continue. So these are two apps you can use with your students when they, for example, watch a video for the listening task. We have reading text, or reading texts have videos on YouTube. So you can upload the video using Edpuzzle on Stream and make students listen to the audio or watch the video, and you can have some questions. This helps students stay focused and to have the correct answer. They can answer more than once in order to get the correct answer. I think that's it for today. Do you have any question? So we talked about listening, the importance of listening, the challenges we have teaching listening. We talked about teaching listening, about listening process, how we can apply the listening process in making a lesson plan, how we can teach, for example, Old MacDonald had a farm, and we can apply this song for different texts or reading passages, listening text we have in our book. I also talked about some of the interactive listening exam apps we can use. I think that's it for me today. So
Yes,
do you
thank
have
you
any
very much.
questions to us?
Yes, Miss Wala, thank you. You did a very excellent presentation. Thank you very much. And now the floor is our attendees. Now you can ask any question for Miss Wala. Please, Miss Fatima, go ahead.
Yes, but just a second. You have the form in the chat to complete. Okay. So to get the certificate, you
Yes.
can log
Yes.
in and you can complete the form.
Yes, and also they can receive their certificate immediately via the email that they wrote inside the form. Please write correctly, then you will receive your certificate immediately. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, Miss Fatima.
Can you repeat again about the certificate, please?
Yes,
I didn't get that.
I sent the certificate form in the chat box. You can fill it, then you can receive your certificate immediately via the email that you wrote inside the form. Okay?
Okay, thank you a lot.
Welcome. Yes, Miss Fatima, you were raising your hand. You can ask your question. Miss Fatima, are you with us? Yes, anybody else?
Is there anybody who wants to ask a question?
Yes, it seems that you fulfill the whole topic. Thank you another time. And also, I won't forget to thank our participants from all over the world. They were very active in this presentation. As usual, thank you another time and hope you the best and good night. Thank you very much. Thank you, Miss Wala, another time, and hope that
Really,
you
thank
will
you.
join us. Yes, thank you.